Welcome to MySci Unit 22, Using Our Resources Wisely. In these lesson summary videos, we will go through each lesson and explain the key concepts and the activities you will be doing with your students as you go through this unit. In Lesson 1, students will answer the question, what are natural resources? They figure out that a natural resource is a material that is found in nature that humans use in their everyday lives. Resources can be renewable, meaning they are replenished naturally over time. Resources can also be non-renewable, meaning they cannot be readily replaced over time. The materials we use as sources of energy are natural resources and can be renewable or non-renewable as well. During the unit, students will focus on the design challenge. How can we design a wind turbine that will lift a bucket of pennies? What that means is that students are going to design, build, test, and refine a wind turbine to perform a specific task. In doing so, they will learn how wind turbines create electricity through a mechanical process. This electricity is a form of renewable energy that can be used to solve problems for communities. Start by framing the unit for the students. Tell students, this unit is all about natural resources, Earth systems, and how humans interact with these things. Introduce them to the design challenge and ask them questions to get them thinking about how they can achieve this design challenge. In the engaged portion of this lesson, students will be introduced to the unit phenomena. For Unit 22, students will explore how humans use Earth's resources through the lens of Samsø, Denmark, an island that does not use any oil, coal, or gasoline as energy resources. They will consider and record what questions they have about the island and how natural resources, energy, and human impacts are related to this phenomena. To begin, students will consider what natural resources are and how they can be used. Students will sort items based on if they are natural resources, if they are not natural resources, or if they are unsure in their student journals. In the Explore portion of this lesson, students will share their ideas with the class and construct an initial definition of natural resources, using their examples and non-examples as guidance. Next, students will obtain information from 6 articles about natural resources, renewable and non-renewable resources, and energy, using a jigsaw activity. They will annotate the text, highlighting relevant information. In the Explain portion of the lesson, students will resort themselves and share the big ideas from their article with the group. These ideas include how natural resources come from nature and that we use them for something. These resources can be renewable or non-renewable based on the rate they are replenished. They will record these ideas on sticky notes to be used in later sessions. Students will then watch 2 videos about how humans use different natural resources to generate energy, both renewable and non-renewable, and consider the benefits and drawbacks of these sources. Next, students will revisit the items they sorted previously in the lesson. They will identify which natural resources are renewable using an oval and which resources are non-renewable using a rectangle. They will then consider how energy is generated from natural resources and is used to make fuel for cars, heat for homes, and electricity. Students will identify which of the natural resources are used to create energy using a star. Finally, students will consider why energy is important to us. They will use a turn and talk to construct explanations about how energy helps improve our quality of life and solve societal problems. Using the information they have obtained throughout the lesson, students will refine their definitions of natural resources, renewable resources, and non-renewable resources, and determine which energy resources are renewable and non-renewable. In the Elaborate portion of this lesson, students will investigate the uses of natural resources beyond energy. They will obtain information from videos in order to explain that all materials are either natural resources or created from natural resources. Lastly, they will discuss how many of these materials are important in their lives. In the Evaluate portion of this lesson, students will complete a formative assessment. They will read a short text about the formation of oil and coal in order to explain that coal and oil are natural resources. They are non-renewable resources because they cannot be replenished over human lifetimes, and they are used to provide energy and develop products that we use every day. By the end of this lesson, students will have identified common natural resources, distinguished between renewable and non-renewable energy sources, and described what natural resources are used by humans.